Hey guys, my name is Runlax, I'm a 2x Radiant player, and today I'll be showcasing you the top 10 crosshairs that I use in Valorant, and are that in my opinion, the best for focusing on actually being good at the game. If you're new to Valorant, one thing you need to understand is that smaller crosshairs are for sure more helpful at longer ranges. But the problem is that they lack the visibility that a bigger crosshair can give you. Bigger X crosshairs will be easier to see at very long distances, but can unfortunately block the view of the enemy that you're trying to hit in some instances. So in this video, we've got accurate crosshairs, clear crosshairs, circular crosshairs, and the everything crosshairs that'll average out the advantage that you have at all ranges. The crosshair codes for all of these will be down below, as well as in my Discord, where you can see my raw Excel settings, my sensitivities, more crosshairs, etc. Alright, let's get to it. For the first crosshair we have here is a smaller version of Tenz's crosshair, Riot's renowned Golden Boy and the OG GOAT, rocking 1322 inner lines in Cyan. To this day, this crosshair is still a go-to for many players. I prefer it slightly smaller because you don't want a big donkey crosshair mauling your screen, making targeting as difficult as landing a 150k on grid shot. Its sleek, simple, intricate design was handcrafted to give you the upper advantage on any bot who is unfortunate enough to be queued against you in your latest comp game. You really can't go wrong with this crosshair. It's been a great crosshair for the last 4 years, and it still holds up today as one of the best crosshairs that I still see in almost every Immortal and Radiant lobby. I'm gonna give this crosshair a 9 out of 10. The second crosshair we have here is 1-1 on the outlines, 1-2-2 on the inner lines in the green color. This crosshair was a personal favorite of mine for a while, primarily because you aren't going to miss this big clunk box on an enemy. If you're as blind as me, because your monitor has burnt your eyes out over years of gaming, this crosshair could be great for you. Only problem is that trying to land headshots on people long range can be pretty irritating depending on what resolution you play, but if you're a native res tryhard, this crosshair will be great for you. And give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. Coming up on number 3, we actually have the subscribe button. Come on, buddy, you should have been pressing this 2 minutes ago. You're actually trolling like you do in your comp games. Coming up on number 3, we have the 1-3-1-2 inner lines in white. This crosshair is excellent for most situations in Valorant. The thin lines allow you to accurately target heads whilst maintaining that X reticle, and it works pretty well at every range. The only downside is that it can be kinda difficult to see sometimes depending on what map you're playing on, and when you're using extended vibrance. I've used this crosshair for a while in the past and saw tons of success with it, so it's definitely in my top 3. I give it a cheeky 7 out of 10. For number 4, we have the 1-2-2-0 inner lines dot crosshair. In my opinion, I prefer this over the regular dot crosshair that many pros use, as it's more circular and doesn't have that square shape that I'll explain later. This crosshair is easy to see, change it to whatever color you want, and watch your headshot percentage start stacking up on Val Tracker. I recommend this to you with a score of 7 out of 10. Number 5 is the famous outlined white dot. Extremely simple to create, just turn on the center dot with 1 on the crosshair outline and it's done. This crosshair is in the upper echelon of headshot crosshairs, allowing you to easily abuse players in your 1v1s. It's a classic. Although this can be an irritating crosshair to use for me personally, sometimes because it's so damn small. But what works for you is what works for you, I guess. Here's a notable mention of the same crosshair that I do like to use with modded outline colors. It weirdly makes it easier for me to see, but more on that later in the video. Just because it has favor with the pros, we'll give it an 8 out of 10. Now for number 6, we've got this goofy ass open circle crosshair running 1-1-5-2 on inner lines. This is great in case you're incapable of making sure that your crosshair is actually on somebody, so you can align your crosshair perfectly to fit their big meathead inside of it, and then you just hit left click. It's a pretty good crosshair. I believe a couple of pros are using this one too. I rarely slap it on though in my off days overall. 5.5 out of 10. Number 7, we've got this target crosshair. It's resembling 4 arrows pointing to the middle in case you needed reminding of what to actually shoot at. So this crosshair is great for people who forget that you should in fact kill your teammate's future E-Kitten who he's teabagging with on the enemy team. And you can feel good about doing it, knowing that you can blame your crosshair for telling you to do so. For this reason alone, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Solid crosshair. In number 8, we've got the 1-12-2-3 on the inner lines. And you may be looking at the screen thinking I'm brain dead, but I'll have you know that this crosshair is the secret wave I've been preaching since 2021. I don't care what you Breeze haters have to say, and I don't expect you to understand this goated masterpiece of a crosshair, but how can you just not appreciate the size of it? They say some people compensate in other areas for things they lack in, and for me that's eyesight, as I've recently just acquired glasses because of this game. It's big, it's clunky, but you're not forgetting where your crosshair needs to go in a gunfight, and you definitely know if it's locked onto somebody. 11 out of 10. In the 9th spot, this is the 1-2-1-2 outlines. It's a classic crosshair, it's timeless, and its design allows for an in-depth accuracy, and it allows for exceptional control. It's easy to see, it's simple. You look like a guy who knows what he's doing, and who's going to drop a 40 bomb for the game win. Again, one of the crosshairs I've used a lot in the past, and I can't recommend it enough. It's easy to hit people with it, and it feels easy to get used to. Definitely one to look at. 9 out of 10. And for the final crosshair on my list, this is the all-time GOAT crosshair without a doubt. It's simple, it gets the job done. Tens of pros use the exact same crosshair just for this reason alone. I feel unstoppable using this. I use the same crosshair in AimLab, and I don't even know what it is when it comes to this crosshair or why it's so good. You honestly just need to try it if you haven't yet. Sometimes the simplest ones are the most effective, and that's what this list is trying to prove, I guess. But I feel like Terminator slaughtering lobby after lobby with this thing. I just queued this deathmatch right now whilst editing, and I'm currently banned, so I haven't been playing at all, and I still won. I give this crosshair an 1000 out of 10. Remember that there's a whole world of different crosshairs out there, and honestly, you can find all of them on this site right here, vcrdb.net. It's super easy for you to just go on the site, find a crosshair you like, click it, copy, go to Valorant, import crosshair, press Ctrl and V on your keyboard, and you have your crosshair and you can edit in any way you want. Alright, so modding the outline colors on your crosshair is not that difficult of a task. You're going to go to the GitHub link I put in the description, scroll down a bit so you're here, download VALORANT CC, we'll download it to your downloads folder, click save, go to your downloads folder, open the program. Make sure you got the Riot client open or Valorant. And when you get in, as you can see, there's like crosshairs, it will import all your crosshairs here. And you can actually like make it bigger so you can have a little look at what you're changing. And you can change the outline colors like you couldn't do in the game. Then, once you've done making your crosshair, you'll click save. And it'll say to restart Valorant. And then when you get back in the game, the crosshair will look like this. You can also change like the sniper color and shit too. And your aim down sights if you want different colors for each one. It's pretty cool. And for the crosshairs, that's pretty much it. Remember, these are just the crosshairs that I use personally. I'm always getting spammed by some of you guys in my Discord for what crosshair I'm using, and the answer to that is number 10. I'm always posting settings in my Discord that I'm using, whether it's new sensitivity, new crosshair, or new raw Excel settings. So feel free to join the other 5,000 people in there who are already a part of the 5-stack. If you want to check out some of my other guides, feel free to go down to my channel below. I have a playlist with all of them there. Please drop a like and subscribe if you feel like sticking around. It helps me massively, so thank you. Now I am just going to waffle for a bit, so if you want to dip, the video is over. This is just for some of you guys that have stuck around for a while, or if you guys feel like sticking around. Hey, I know it's been a minute since I last talked to you guys, and I know I've been inactive for a while, and I've been busy for the last couple of months, that's why. And I think I'm ready to get on that grind again. I just want to say thanks for the support over the last 2 years that I've been making videos almost. It means a lot to me, and it's crazy to think that we're at nearly 8,500 of you guys. And it's insane to think that we're closing in on 10k so fast. I know I keep going back to that video where I was so hyped over 300 subs about a year and a half back, but the fact that anyone watches my videos gasses me up, let alone this many of you guys. So thank you so much for the support every day. I can't thank you enough, and if you want to stick around, please subscribe and like this video. It helps me out and it helps my channel out like crazy, and you're a real one for doing so. Make sure you join my Discord. I'm always in there if you want to chat to me or ask some questions. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Feel like every time I run it up again. How come every time I look at you feel like I'm on a camp? Why is it every time I pull up on you ask me where I've been? I don't like where it's headed, I wanna start again. How come everything went right when you left? Now I'm chasing money, I'm not waiting for your text. Now I got a half-year rent on my neck. They say money's not the key, but it got me the keys to my bed.